Danland versus Youngins. First match of the semifinal. Bass, let's get this thing underway.
Woo! I'm so ready for this one. I am beyond ready for this, mainly because of the fact that, again, these are our front runners. I'm not going to say guaranteed, but the most likely outcome is who wins this one wins the tournament. As much as I've got faith in the other half of the bracket, we've said this multiple times over, they are by far coming into this one the underdogs. So Danland and Youngins, this really could be who walks home with that nearly $4,000 first place prize. So far, neither team able to find it here, though. 20 seconds into this one, just kind of a boomer ball back and forth, and hey, you're getting the physicality you wanted. Already demos being prevalent.
That's right. A little poking and prodding, a sharp angle shot there from Beastmode, not able to connect. But this is not too surprising. We see this in 3v3 as well. A lot of these teams, when they first jump into these, especially these lengthy series, best of 7, they like to just ease into it, right? They don't want to overextend. They don't want to be that first team to make a silly mistake and give up a free goal. So they kind of take their time, and we do see that boom ball a little bit sometimes. They're not super focused on possession and keeping it close. Aqua there with a sharp angle double touch attempt. No luck there. Daniel on the other side is going to send a flick on target. Evo will send it away, but Beast Mode's here for the rebound, and that's going to give Danland the first goal of the series.
Evo, not the greatest touch here. I mean, he did what he could, but unfortunately, popping it into the backboard that heavily is just going to pop it out to midfield where easily Beast Mode can read that one. It's all right, though. It's a minute into this one. We're not exactly expecting perfect play out of either squad. I think considering that they are going to be a little bit more mechanical, may see some of these risky plays, may see some plays like that just a little bit off the mark, but are getting close to what they're looking for. So I want to see a good counterattack here out of the Youngins. That's a good shot on target. Aqua easily turned away, but I don't think it's really going to develop into much here. No, you can see all of the Youngins immediately retreating, and I think that's the type of game we're going to be seeing here, is a lot of extra space being given to either team. Considering that their mechanics are good, no one's really going to try and challenge early because they've got full confidence in their ability to turn it around. Good confidence there is going to work out for Danland as they just barely deny that goal.
Ooh. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We are going to see some respect given. All these players are aware of one another, and they know what they can do. And so that space is just it's just respect. It's just a little caution there. And look, this is what I asked for, right, Bass? I wanted some bumps. I wanted some physical play. Evo, the lead block, works into the corner. Dan, a little bit of a mistouch. He gets a demo and bumps the second one. Evo doing some heavy lifting here for this equalized goal from Aqua. 3:15 on the clock, and we're all level.
I like that. There we go. That is just going to show you. Maybe it will be mechanical. Maybe it will be a little bit of physical. Maybe it'll be a little bit of everything in between. I don't think we've seen an air dribble bump from like a solo play yet. I still want to see that because it'd be absolutely incredible. Well, I'd love to see that go through as well. Danland trying to get themselves a little bit of something special to get the second goal on the board. Daniel still trying to go for something special. That's a little bit spectacular. Just completely 50-50s the ever-living heck out of his opponent. What?
Look at this car control. That's really an awkward angle to exit the wall from and launch for any type of play, whether it's a shot or an air dribble attempt or whatever. Daniel, great control, great manipulation of the car to just destroy that 50-50 and muscle it through. That was really impressive. And Daniel putting another shot on target. Beast Mode actually is going to redirect that just wide, just off the post. And now Aqua is going to a late dodge there, looking to bring a little bit of misdirection there. Have Beast Mode and Daniel second guessing what he's going to do. Beast Mode in a great position though, and now Danland back on offense.
Going to the air yet again. This is actually not too surprising to see from him. I know you've casted Rogue before, so you probably know about these tendencies, but for our audience, Aqua likes the air. He goes to air dribbles often. Even in a 3v3 setting, he's done this many, many times before, so not too surprising to see him doing that here in this environment, but maybe he should settle down a little bit here, considering that they do have time and space. Just put shots on target, and you might just be able to crack the defense, but Daniel somehow able to get back to that one. Got the follow-up to hit over his head, but Evo not gonna make a touch? Okay, eventually he will. Gets bumped to the ceiling. He's still on this, isn't he? No, Aqua's there instead. Out of nowhere, the duo is gonna continue with their offensive pressure, and I got a feel for Daniel and Beast Mode right now. They're doing whatever they can to get this off the half and are just not finding the way through.
This is exactly what I was afraid of too, with these two aggressive players ripping the resources from Danland. I was concerned with how well they're going to be able to defend, and so far they've remained calm and collected. And here I go jinxing it once again. The double commit. I guess I'll hit the caster curse in game 1 today.
Hey, listen, you got to start off where you left off, all right? And Evo, apparently he's setting that one sky high. I don't know how you get that much power from a flick that you basically get 2 seconds to catch it. That was ridiculous. But, that being said, what we're kind of looking for here, a little bit of mechanics, a little bit of good team play, and a lot of aggression out of the youngins. And like you said, this is kind of what we were worried about for Danland here, but they still have some time. They've got about a minute 20 to try and play this one out, and oh boy, they don't want to get locked into their half yet again here. If this comes into another offensive pressure out of youngins, this game might be over.
Yes, and this is what I'm looking for. Of course, we were concerned about Dan and Beast maybe bringing a similar performance as yesterday, where just a 4-0 sweep. And it's not that Sosa and Money didn't threaten. They had some good opportunities. They put some good goals in, and they had a couple of tight games. But Dan and Beast, they're just so dangerous individually, as a team, as a unit, resources, defense. They have the entire package. But Evo and Aqua, they're gonna make this difficult. It's not gonna be an easy feat for Dan and Beast. We're gonna see what they can do here as game one winds down. We're under 40 seconds and we're all level 2-2. A big 50 from Aqua. I think Evo misread that initial touch from Aqua, and Beastmode is going to turn things around and get it moving back on offense. Daniel's going to take to the skies this time, looking to maybe go underneath, but Aqua in a great position and deals with it well on the backboard. Now Beastmode challenges on the side. Dan on the retreat back is going to pop one high for Beast. Here he goes over to the sidewall, just putting it to safety, putting it somewhere where Evo and Aqua can't get an initial immediate touch. Evo with the speed, now Aqua with the speed, outplaying their opponents, but cannot get it inside the post. And we're down to 5 seconds here. Daniel along the sidewall. A challenge from Evo. We may be heading to overtime. If this hits the ground, yes it does. We're going to OT Bass game one. This is what we want.
Oh, this is everything we were hoping for. And honestly, in the fashion that it is as well, it does feel like both of the teams are not playing poorly. They're kind of playing to their expert level, and it's two different sides. It's the 1v1s that we're seeing on repeat here out of Danland. Meanwhile, youngins are just running the offense through exerting pressure and speed. They really are just a quicker team. I think we have to continue highlighting how they've just been so aggressive this entire time. I mean, the shot total shows that 18 shots so far here for the youngins, but it will only take 12 for Danland to take game number one. Top right bins, they will take the overtime. But looks like he's just kind of challenging the ball on repeat, trying to go rather aggressively and keep that pressure up. And while that can work out, it doesn't necessarily lend itself to having higher mechanics when you do that, because, well, you don't have as much time to develop said mechanics. That being said, this isn't too mechanical. This is just clean. Danland with the first goal.
It seems like this is the strategy. Dan, outplay one, require a touch, require a save, and Beast Mode, clean up the trash. And hey, don't you know, it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep it working, right? They found a ton of success off this. 3 times it's happened, and they've got 3 goals from it. One thing that I did want to talk about for a moment, Bass, is game one. We talked about it really early on, a little bit of poking and prodding, a little bit of boom ball or whatever. But as that first game went on, Aqua, the reset gets it behind both players, and Evo's there for the cleanup. Let me get back to my point, because this is too clean.
This is disgusting. Aqua, how do you even keep this for that long, let alone get the flip reset at the end there? Evo recognizes Daniel's immediately going to challenge, so shoot it left. Again, I think the speed is coming to the advantage here. When the youngins take even a half a second to take a breath and not necessarily go at Mach 7 speeds, it catches the team off guard. So, yeah, I think we have figured out how they're going to play. It's going to be mechanics and the solo plays for Danland versus the youngins, who just want to outpace their opponents and find those openings. I can't wait to see how this one develops, but I also can't wait to hear your point. Let's get back to that. I do want to hear you conclude.
In game one, we saw that just that careful start that we're oh so used to, and make it a freebie here. Daniel's going to poke one over the last defender, which happens to be, you know, someone here in the attacking third. Aqua, just a little bit awkward. Couldn't really get that read on it. Dan's going to capitalize. But what I saw in game one, Bass, was a little bit of a slow start. I shouldn't even call it slow start, a cautious start. This is game two. I'll update that right now. Thank you, guys. What I was going to say, though, is as the game one unfolded, we did see both teams trend more towards that aerial play. We started to see a little bit more of the aerial flip reset attempts or air dribble attempts. Daniel's going to get a demo here on a big clear, and it's actually going to give Danland a 3rd goal in this first minute of game two.
Oh my gosh, it's the first minute. What? I didn't even realize. Looking at my notes, trying to figure out, all right, who got that goal, who did what, Look back up, and you say, hey, it's the first minute. Yeah, we've had 4 goals in about a minute here. This also might be the most high-scoring series we see all day. Not to say that the defenses of either teams are going to be poor. I don't think they're going to be the highlights. Oh, the offense is going to have to be that highlight reel. But Beast Mode, if you want to make that highlight reel, you need to put the shots on target.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's not that the defenses are weak. It's just that the offenses of both of these rosters is so strong. Beast Mode just going to poke one in from midfield. I don't know if Evo was just fishing for boost or what happened here. An errant touch from Aqua. Beast Mode's going to beat him to that touch, and Evo just a little out of position.
Yeah, I think that he was hoping to go for the boost in the corner there. You can see he literally ran out of boost halfway through retreating to the goal, and I think it's just a little bit of too much confidence in Aqua to get a clean 50-50 there. And I don't really blame him. I think you do have to have a decent amount of confidence in your teammate if you want to run twos in an effective way. But, oh boy, when Daniel's hitting shots like that, I don't think that you could be too confident. Caution might be the key here, and for either team, it might be the key, considering the fact that we're only 90 seconds into this one, and as much as the 4-1 lead is pretty stable, I don't think that they can rest on this one quite yet. Danland still need to be careful. The comeback is possible for Youngins.
Exactly right, Bass. I mean, we might see it right here. Aqua into the area. He does get the reset. Daniel's in position, and Beast Mode's low boost, but he's going to get one touch. Evo's going to corral this. Maybe take it to the sidewall. We'll see what he does. He's going to work through the corner here. Great patience. A flick out, and Beast Mode in a great position. But they're not out just yet. Evo secures that corner boost. Daniel will get it around one. I don't think he has the resources to be very threatening here. He will put a flick on target, but it's not very dangerous. Aqua's going to sweep this into the corner, and now the Youngins transitioning onto offense. Evo ahead of the play. Aqua, a nice shot, but Daniel with a diving save. And the boost is too low for the Youngins. They have to back off, and now Beast Mode with control, looking to work through that midfield. Daniel with great patience. Now here we go back to the air. The reset, he's going to get it around Aqua. Can he get back to this? Yes, he can. A shot. Evo is there. Danland, little bit more patience. They are executing with these mechanics, but they're doing it at the right time. They're not overextending. They're not making silly decisions or double committing as a team. Daniel looking for a double reset, maybe even a triple. Daniel, oh my goodness.
Okay, and that's why we say it's going to be an offensive game. Yes, the defense does save that one, but that's what we're seeing at this point here. It's rippers on target, and somehow, some way, they've got a defender in net who's able to turn it off. Let's see if maybe Evo can turn this one on. Can he put it on target? I think it's a little bit off the mark. Aqua should be up. What's he going to do with it? Flip reset in the bag, but Daniel will take it right on out. Fortunately, this is looking, I'm not going to say a little bit out of control for the Youngins, but it doesn't feel like they have the same sort of offensive efficiency. Before they were getting into this final third and really putting a threat against this Danland squad. Instead now, Danland kind of just see one shot, turn it away, go back into their own offense, and they've now done this more times than I can count. Daniel has also made threatening shots more times than he can count at this point here. 7 in total is literally more than the entirety of the Youngins combined. So yeah, I'm thinking Danland have found their footing, and now that they've done that here in game number 2, if the Youngins don't find footing of their own, this is going to be a rough series.
Absolutely. I think it's just one of these things where they went down, and we talked about it. It's the first minute of the game, and they were already down 2, and they've given up 3 goals. It's so tough to make that comeback. When you're playing players of this caliber, they're not going to make mistakes, right? In our ranked games, you go down 2-3 goals in the first minute, so what? We're all going to make mistakes. We're trash compared to these guys, right? It's just the reality of the situation. But when they go down 3 goals, 2 goals early in a game, you have your back against the wall because you just have to play so clean. You have to be so creative. You have to execute excellently to get the ball past these level of players. And even when you do execute perfect, sometimes they still make it back. They'll make the diving save. We saw yesterday Atomic half flip across the face of the goal from the post. You know, the plays that these players can make defensively is nothing short of absolute phenomenal. And so Aqua and Evo, I think something that they're going to have to do moving forward, they're going to have to be careful. Maybe approach the early half of the game a little bit more cautiously, right? And take their time. Make sure they don't give up any freebies or just low effort goals early on, because Dan and Beast, they are not going to make mistakes. They are going to capitalize if there's any ounce of space.
Oh, no way. Oh, I thought he was about to capitalize right there as well. But yeah, 100% agreed. At this point, this has got to be a little bit cleaner of a game, I would say, out of Evo and Aqua right now. I think part of it is the fact that, wait, is that going in? Oh, okay, Beast Mode just bit off the mark with that, but it's a bit spectacular. Evo's going to dip out. He thought that was hitting the ground. He's like, all right, come on, let me get my new car. Let's get this over with already. Let the ball hit the ground.
And this right here is the game. They have got to turn this around. If they go down 3-0, Bass, I think I'll go ahead and call it right there. You know, obviously, Danland's going to have to put in a good effort to win a 4th game, but down 3-0, a reverse sweep in a best-of-7 is just tough. It's so difficult, and especially after the manner in which Dan and Beast have been winning these games. You know these, like you said, you know these are frustrating games to lose. You know it's very annoying when you just can't get your stuff going. You know that when you're playing ranked and when you're playing other opponents that are not Dan and Beast, you can just, you know, you can make a mistake here or there, or maybe you don't execute to absolute perfection and it will still be effective, but that's not the case today. That's not the case against Danland.
Oh, I thought Beastmode was about to have a repeat performance from yesterday already. You guys remember he opened up the scoreline yesterday with a redirect out at midfield. He'll open up the scoreline here in game number 3 with an open net, and I'm gonna be honest, where did Evo go?
Well, you know, Evo's up there grabbing those boosts, looking for the demos. He's up there making that nuisance play. Unfortunately, there was nobody back there because Beast Mode was still at midfield. He turns, takes a shot, and that's going to give him a 1-0 lead here. You know it's frustrating. Game 3, they got to make something happen here, and inside that first minute again, we're giving up just a really silly goal, and this might be a second. Daniel's actually going to miss this, but he will get a second shot, but AQUA in position. Evo, be really nice if he could make something pretty happen right here. Puts it off the crossbar, gives a chance to AQUA. AQUA with the speed is there to equalize here in game 3. 3:50 on the clock, lots of time. You know this is going to be good for their confidence moving forward.
And this is how I think they got to approach all of these offenses from here on out, if I'm being honest. A lot of the reason they have been exposed on these counterattacks is because AQUA goes for the initial shot, and rather than Evo waiting out at midfield, he's already in the middle of taking boosts from his opponents. And it's not really going to work in your favor if you just completely get exposed. Also, again, not hitting the target is not going to work in your favor either. I feel like we've said this a couple too many times for Beast Mode. Oh my word! And how many times are we going to highlight AQUA? He saw the slander in chat and said, "You guys sure about this one? Let me just stunt real quick."
Oh, Baz, how many of these have we seen this tournament? These players will flick it up off the wall, the down bounce from the ceiling, and they just catch it. It's beautiful. It's like have you seen those games where you have the egg toss, right? And you got to be just so gentle with it. That's what it reminds me of. It's just perfect, Baz. It's so beautiful. The finesse is beautiful. Another one for Beast Mode. The attempt is there. Evo thought he had to reset. Beast comes to the ground, gets that air roll shot just over him, and we are all level 2-2. Baz, this game is exciting.
Look at how clean Beast Mode gets off the ground. He glides off of that one. It's like he was on a surfboard on a wave and just kind of popped back up and slapped that on target. 2-2. Let's go to another overtime. How about that, folks? Let's see another incredible game between the two. For that to happen, Evo does need to pick up the boost in the corner. Not sure if you saw that, but that might be the most awkward play we see all game. Never mind. Followed up by yet another awkward play. What just happened? And they missed. What just happened?
No, that is disaster. AQUA and Evo, they had a free net, and AQUA sends it off the post with the clear. Fortunately, they haven't conceded once again, excuse me. Daniel does have possession. Off the sidewall, looking for a 50 here at midfield. Evo's going to pick this up and pop around one. He does get bumped. Beast Mode on defense. Evo looking for the 50-50. Evo's going to steal this boost. AQUA takes a shot. Sends it to the side, though. Beast gives it to Dan, and now Dan to the air. I am loving the aerial plays, Baz. Look at him with the double attempt. AQUA recovers just in time. Beast Mode can't get it inside the post, and now AQUA gets a flick out to midfield. Daniel, plenty of resources, in great position. Now Beast faking like he has something, but he's working with absolutely nothing in the tank. AQUA's going to air dribble this down into the Danland corner. Evo provides a challenge, and it seems as though both teams are using a lot of the resources just to escape, and then they run dry when they are looking to mount an attack. We're going to have to see something change here if either team wants to break the defense.
It does kind of feel like Danland are starting to kind of fall victim to the play style that we're seeing out of their opponents here. Before, their patience was really working out in their favor. Now, all of a sudden, they're meeting youngins in the air. Beast Mode challenging off the wall there is a bit surprising because all he does is boom it out to the other team. So, yeah, it feels a bit odd. It feels like the pressure is now more against Danland than it is against the youngins, which is a bit surprising considering the not domination, but I would say the overwhelming victories we've seen for the last 2 games. So, all right, I guess Danland are not necessarily as invincible as we thought. The Giants can bleed here, but can you actually take them down? The Youngins like to think so. They're out of midfield here with a little bit of an awkward position, but at least AQUA can clear it off the half. Evo fakes out a challenge, so Beast Mode once again booms this as far as he can. Is it going to be enough to actually turn into a counterattack for the Youngins here? Evo would like to think so, but that first touch not necessarily going to really lead to much here, especially considering Boost in the corner does not spawn for him. Has spawned there, so Daniel's actually going to have to go for it, which means Aqua's got a 1v1, but Daniel makes the recovery and gets back in time. More offensive pressure for the Youngins, but still unable to capitalize.
Aqua and his late dodge manipulation is so fun to watch. My goodness, it's pretty. He takes this thing up. He might have a redirect. Oh my! Aqua, the angle. Oh my goodness. Evo with a nice pass across. Aqua, incredible speed, probably coming from a blind spot from Daniel. Knocks it down and under the crossbar. A beautiful shot's going to give Youngins a lead here in game number 3.
All right, I take it back. Yesterday we said that Evo was going to be the offensive powerhouse. Evo today, maybe not feeling himself with the shots as much, so he went, Aqua, here you are. Have this. Go ahead. Take the silver platter and run with it. 45 seconds to go. Oh, Evo, make me eat my words. Hit a double touch here. What? Did Beast just save that off the bar?
I'm pretty sure he pre-jumped that. Oh no, the classic Youngins fashion. Oh no. A double commit on a ball that really just wasn't that important, and they're going to allow Danland back into this game with 25 seconds. You know that is heartbreaking. I hope these Youngins do not become tilted.
Oof. I got no other word to describe what we just saw there. That hurts. That is not fun to play against, and if you are Aqua and Evo right now, you have got to just stay calm. You've also got to get in the way of this. Do not give Daniels time and space in the air. Do not give Beastmode time. Wait a minute, Beastmode pre-jumped that. This could be bad if Evo's able to bang this hard enough, and indeed he will. Sends it on target. Daniel will be there to block it, but not on the follow-up. Evo to the backboard. Beastmode once again pre-jumps, but he misses. Aqua wasn't expecting it. He was thinking that it was going to go back out, so this could work out. Double commit. They're under the ball. Beastmode's still there.
Wait.
No, this is going to be a goal, isn't it? It's a 1v1. And Beastmode puts it to the backboard. Daniel's there to keep it up. Someone let it hit the ground. No, they won't. Beastmode's still got the ball. He's got a flick, puts it high. Where's the follow-up? Is Daniel going to stay with it? No. We finally hit the ground. We've got overtime. Game number 3.
Okay, let's take a deep breath for a moment, settle down, because that was a little bit out of control. I thought both teams had an opportunity there to keep us out of overtime and win this game, number 3. Daniel's going to take a shot near post. Evo will deflect it away. We're definitely seeing the aggression from both teams, the willingness to play risky, the willingness to move forward, like you called out. Beastmode, I mean, totally free jumping as a last man there at midfield just to make sure that his opponents don't have a free touch. Daniel's going to slot one back post, but Aqua with a half flip's going to keep it out of the net. Evo, a little bit of resources here to work with. Going to slow play it down the sidewall and will confirm that corner boost. Daniel's going to take over on possession, though. A big 50-50 from Aqua. Evo with the speed. He is going to dunk Beastmode, but Beastmode will keep it out. Great, calm, and collect play from Beastmode here on the back line. Aqua is going to stay behind us and 50 it in the midfield. Evo's going to take control. Go high. The late dodge. Beastmode responds. Aqua out of the corner. Beast did pick up that corner boost. Aqua, the reset, opts not to use it. Now Evo's going to take over here at midfield, working from the ceiling. He does have his dodge, looks to go underneath, but Beastmode is a brick wall on the back line here, Bass.
Uh-oh, and they need another brick wall here. The unfortunate thing is that they have been exerting so much pressure, but this is where I get the most nervous for the Youngins. Their defense hasn't been bad, but it definitely has been one-sided, if that makes sense. Evo really not getting all too involved in that back line, while Aqua has had to make miraculous save after miraculous save. I'd love to see this one switch up. I know that they can try and play a little bit more around it, but remember yesterday we were saying that Evo was dropping back-to-back 1,000-point games? Aqua has already done that, and he'll need to save the team yet again. He's at 1,100 points and 5 saves. This kid is not just trying to put his team on his back. He is trying to take them all the way to the top of the mountain. But Beastmode, he'd like to take him right back down, throw him off the summit, and Daniel might be able to do it instead. Evo once again gets caught going for boost, and it will be possibly the last time because the Youngins, they have one last game. Otherwise, that's the end of their tournament. The Youngins have tried to, they kind of stumble over each other. It feels like that hero mentality we spoke about yesterday happens to them both. They see an opportunity and both of them go, I'm fast enough, I can get to this one. And then they both get to it and collapse on top of each other. So, Youngins, you got to keep your heads on your shoulder. We said it enough times here, but if you continue to stay in the clouds, all it's really going to do is leave you exposed. So, this could be the final time. It's now or never. The Youngins have got to reverse sweep.
Oh
Oh, no.
That's not a good start. Aqua almost makes a heroic save, diving from the heavens, but Daniel is going to put it just around him. Bass, you know this is tilting. They shouldn't have even been in overtime in Game 3. That double commit on a silly challenge at midfield gave Danland the opportunity to equalize and take it into OT. And I fear that the young ones are probably going to be frustrated with their performance. Bass, I don't know about this. This is going to be tough. I really hope they can score here quickly, because if they don't, I think it's going to be too much to overcome.
I'd have to agree with you. I think, again, it's just the fact that this goal did happen so incredibly early. Good thing.
There we go.
Early response. They're back on the board here. The youngins are not quite out of this one yet. And I like that it's Evo the one to score this. It feels like he really needed this boost in confidence.
Absolutely. And one thing we do want to also mention here, because it's not all negative, a lot of these players that do work on emotion and allow those emotions to propel them either forward or backwards, hey, sometimes they get a little momentum. You know, if they have a good, clean game right here in Game 4 and take a decisive victory, they can ride that momentum through the rest of this series. So it's not all bad news, but we need to see these guys show that confidence, show that just collection, and stay calm while they're facing a tough battle. I think you hear it all the time. You just got to take it one step at a time, right? Don't look at the full mountain that you have to climb. Right now, it's just one game at a time. And this one is definitely within reach because we're all level and we got a lot of time left here. Aqua and Evo, I want to see them turn up that offense. We've been stuck on defense for the past couple of games far too long, and I want to see them turn it up. Maybe introduce some of those demos once again. We've seen them find success with the demos and early in the series, so I may encourage them to bring some of that back. See if we can bring some of that nuisance play style while also being a little more cautious individually and not leave, you mentioned it many times, not leave Aqua back there all by himself.
I do like that we are seeing more defense out of Evo here. They're actually tied for saves right now. He's actually going to now increase it, so he's back on top, 4-3 here. But yeah, I like this. It feels like youngins are, I don't want to say more cohesive, but it just doesn't feel like they're toppling over each other as much here. That's a weird play out of Evo. It might actually expose him a bit too much. Luckily enough, Aqua will have a decent dribble out at midfield to dispossess his opponents. But yeah, it does feel like this is the best game we've seen so far out of the youngins. Yes, it is a one-to-one ball game, and they have been on defense a majority of the time, but I'm interested to see what happens once they do move into that offense here. Oh boy! They are not going to get the chance to quite yet, though. A miss on the back line is going to cost them dearly. And once again, Danland just capitalizing when the opportunity arrives.
Yeah, Evo was stuck on the goal line with less than 12. It's just going to be a tough position to be in, and sometimes they'll be able to make the save and reach the ball and tap it away, and that time they weren't able to. They still have plenty of time, though, and look, that's one of those goals where you just got to tip your cap and say, you know what? They outplayed us. They got a nice bump. They stole our resources. What can you do? You move forward and you keep going. Those types of concessions, when you allow a team, or not allow, but when they earn it, right? That's not as frustrating. When you give up some freebies, like we saw at the end of Game 3, where a double commit happens, Aqua's probably going to put on this double tap. This is just cake for him. This is free play. Nobody's in the net. This is unchallenged, and this is automatic for Aqua.
This is unreal. The fact that he gets up to this so quickly and is so just confident in making that double touch. Hats off to him. It may be another standard day at the office for these guys, but at this point, nothing is standard here. Even the easiest of tasks are going to seem like a very difficult hill to climb, considering the fact that youngins, they got to keep climbing. They cannot slow down at any moment here, or that could be the end of the series. Again, it's 3-0 in favor of Danland, and considering their history of sweeping their opponents yesterday, it wouldn't be too surprising to see a repeat performance here in the first series of the day. We'll try and avoid that, though. A decent pop out at midfield is going to mean Beastmode. Going to have to, ooh, I was going to say, play with this one in the corner. He's not going to be allowed to. Sent to the Shadow Realm, and now Aqua, time and space, but not necessarily the best touch. Just kind of booms it directly at Beastmode, and it's easily turned away. But with 2 minutes remaining, and the offense starting to go in favor of the youngins, this could be the chance, and indeed it will be. Evo fakes out the defenders and finds the lead for the youngins.
And we see that teamwork. Evo had a little bit of space, takes it up for the reset. Aqua moves forward, that lead blocker to buy a little bit of space there. Clear Daniel out, and Evo is going to put in a third, and now youngins have secured that lead.
Oh, can they increase it? Evo, flip reset in the bag. What's he going to do with it? Went for a second one. All right, I see. Yeah, the confidence might be back, Hoodie. It seems like these young guns are starting to find their rhythm.
Hey, one's not enough, Bass. Why not get two? Hey, from my perspective, why not get three? Let's just keep it rolling. Evo, definitely, like you said, that confidence soaring right now. And this is what we talked about just for a moment, where these players, sometimes they rely on these emotions. And yes, it can go poorly, but it can go well. We saw that from the Space Station squad and the B1 squad at the Major, right? Calm and Arsenal bringing that energy. A laser flick. It's going to be denied once. Beastmode is still here. Danland can't get it in the back of the net. Aqua and Evo holding tight, but they're still not safe just yet. Daniel with an air dribble. Evo will send it away. Beastmode gets that reset. Oh my goodness. Another reset. Beastmode is going to drop it back to Daniel. Pops it around one. The double tap. Daniel doesn't make contact. And the youngins are going to escape. Bass, I am a little shocked there.
I think I'm beyond anything. That's like the first glaring error we've seen out of Danland this entire series. They've had some minor issues here and there, but that's one that, I mean, again, we talk about another day at the office. That's a standard shot for Daniel, and this is an unstandard defense. Aqua's got a breakaway play here, puts it top right, but it's not on target. A huge opportunity, but I'm gonna be honest. Remember how we said that Danland kind of looked comfortable and they had this one in the grip? It's gone. They don't have it anymore. 15 seconds ago, they can still send us to overtime, but not if Evo makes a save like that. Aqua, he will guarantee the game. Cross court, and the youngins keep the series alive.
All right, this is what we want right here. Extend the series, keep the action rolling. Great stuff from the youngins. And this is what we talked about before we rolled into this game. They have got to make some stuff happen on offense. They have got to build that confidence, and they have done just that here in Game 4. Now, can they keep it rolling? I will say that I think they can. I'm more interested in how do Dan and Beast respond. I don't know what the reaction is going to be, because I do feel like this time they are going to feel like they let this one slip from their grasp. Brilliance, but I think they can do it. We got to see here in Game 5 who is going to strike first, because that, I think, is going to play a little bit of a role here, more so for the youngins. If they can get on the board first, I think that's going to give them a little bit of confidence to kind of play a little more free and aggressive. And when they do so, they get those mechanics working, they start stealing those resources, they are a very dangerous squad.
Oh, but that's a double commit out at midfield. That's a bit unexpected out of the Danland squad here. Daniel now by himself has to try and save it. This is a negative angle. There's no reason this should have gone in. What?
Evo, I mean, he just said, get in the weight room, Dan. I'm just going to shove this right past you. And this is what we wanted to see. Will they strike first? Now that they have, can they continue to extend this lead? They got the momentum, a little bit of confidence there from the last game, and you know they believe they can do this. It's not something that they think is out of reach. They know they can take this team down. I'm sure these players come across each other all day in ranked grinding twos, so they know they can. It's just a matter of, can they execute? Can they stay calm? Because we saw a couple mistakes. Aqua very calmly is going to put a reset off the crossbar, but Dan is going to poke it away, and now Beastmode in the corner. It's very awkward. It's going to give time for the youngest to retreat, but they haven't mounted any extended pressure, any sustained pressure on offense. Now, we're only 1 minute into the game, but I want to see this from the youngins. Can they get down there and stay down there? I want to see them get some of the resource. Oh my goodness, another 50-50 on the goal line. Daniel is going to keep this one out, but I want to see them build some sustained pushes on offense. Daniel, you requested it early on. We want to see these air dribble bumps. Daniel tried one right there, but Evo evades and gets the save. He's going to confirm that midfield boost, but he's going to have to give away possession to do so.
I want to see it. Come on, Daniel. Or Evo, or Aqua, or Beast Mode. Someone's got to get that bump. I want to see that demo midair that just kind of shows sparks flying all across the pitch. At the same time, I also do have to wonder. I'm going to propose this question to you because I want to hear your thoughts on it, Hoodie. Do you think now that Danland are also thinking, oh crap, we've missed our window? Have they now let Evo wake up and kind of given too much time for the team to come to life? Because we said Evo did not look impressive to start this day. He looked very off. His offense was just not on point, and his defense was near non-existent. Now that he's not only getting involved in offense and defense, I'm thinking maybe Danland have given too much time for this youngin' squad to come to life.
I actually totally agree. I think this is one of these teams, when you've got those emotion, and I don't want to say they're a totally emotion-based team, but they're definitely a team that I think many people, if you've seen Evo play 1v1s, you know that sometimes those emotions can get the better of him for both ways. A lot of times, Evo he's notorious for a goofy 1v1 play style when he's popping off, right? He's doing goofy stuff, bouncing around the field, doing things that most players would just never try because it's too risky. But when he's feeling himself, he can execute it and he can make it work. And so I think you're exactly right. You do not want to let that sleeping giant wake up, because if you do, it's a recipe for disaster.
I think at this point, the disaster has already started, unfortunately, as well, because this isn't, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the longest time that Danland have gone without a goal. Every other game that we've seen, they've scored a plethora. Game 1, 3, Game 2, 5, Game 4, 4, and Game 3, 4, and then Game 4, they only scored 2. So the trend is going down. They're scoring less and less goals as time goes on, and the fact that they haven't been able to score with over half the game gone here in game number 5, getting a bit nervous, Hoodie. I'm thinking that maybe that grip, like we said, that Danland had earlier on the series, it has not only dissipated, it has disappeared.
Yeah, I think you said it right. This is one of those teams where you want to put them away as quickly as possible, because you give them a little time, you give them a little momentum and confidence, it's going to be tough. With that being said, they do have a nice 3-1 lead here in the series, and this is only a 1-goal game here. It's definitely not out of reach. I think we could very quickly see Dan and Beast turn this thing around and potentially even score multiple. We might have an opportunity here. Beast Mode's going to pop one high. Daniel does take a shot, but Aqua does well to recover inside the net, send it away. Beast Mode from the left wall opts for an aerial 50-50. Evo's going to send it away. Now Daniel, an aerial shot. Aqua got bumped away, but does recover in time and confirms that corner boost. He goes to the air. This is dangerous here. Beast Mode up early. Great challenge from Beast to understand the threat. He needs to go up quickly and not give Aqua that space to work. Beast Mode in a tough situation. Again, does well with the early challenge. I think these players are starting to understand we can't give them any space. We cannot give them any time. It doesn't matter if I don't have the resources for it. I'm better off challenging quickly, because if I don't, they're about to work out.
I think at this point, we're starting to see. Remember how we said earlier in this game it was probably going to be a lot of open space because of the respect level being given to either side? I think disrespect is now the name of the game. They do not want to try and give that space. They do not dare give them that space. And, well, they give them a little bit here for Aqua, but I think that Daniel knew there wasn't really much that was going to come of that play. Evo recognized that Daniel had a good dribble, though, so he'll dispossess him pretty quickly. And we've got a little bit of a battle out at midfield and in the corner here. Maybe Aqua can end that battle. He tries to go for a shot on target, but is, again, dispossessed by Daniel. They don't really need to hold on that much longer. They don't even need a goal. 1-0 here with 5 seconds to go. As long as Aqua can keep this away from the Danland squad. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Add one on for good measure. Pour on the gravy, and let's keep on going. The youngins, they're not done with this series.
Some gravy sound pretty good, Bass. I might go for some biscuits and gravy. I see some people in the chat asking about what these car designs are. I'm pretty sure that is the Neural Network decal. Very popular amongst the pro scene right now. I also got Daz in the chat. Shout out to Daz. Some folks were telling me yesterday that Daz is actually the original creator of the Neural Network setup. So we got to give some respect to Daz there.
Ooh.
Changing the car setup game for the pro scene. Now, straight out of the gate here, Bass, we got some pressure from the youngins. And Aqua. Oh!
What?
How? Bass, the whole thing was inside the net. How? There was nothing left out. How does Daniel keep that away?
Dude, I was about to start commentating that that was a goal. I was about to be like, man, what a great shot. Great way to get around the defense. And then I realized we're not done. Somehow, we are 40 seconds into this one. No one has scored, and I don't know whether that's a compliment to the defense or just sort of lack of ability on the offense. Nope. Ain't lacking nothing. Aqua, he is absolutely ready. 50 seconds in, and the youngins, they're continuing with their streak.
Hey, Danland, they got a strong defensive back line. They got that wall set up. But after they take shot after shot after shot after shot, eventually they are going to break. And Evo and Aqua, Bass, that confidence is here. You know, every bit of fear that I had, every bit of worry or concern that I had about them tilting or maybe not believing that they could do it, it's all gone. Here in this series, I agree with you. I think, you know, there's some folks that don't really believe in momentum and this and that. I do. I think a lot of times these players, how you feel determines how you play. And right now, Evo and Aqua, you know they're feeling good.
Oh, yeah. They look good. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, when you're feeling good, you're looking good. And when you're getting challenges like that, you're really feeling good. Evo, this is an ego challenge. This man is so confident in the fact that he can win a 2v1 out at midfield that if he misses that, that's a goal. Guaranteed.
Well, he don't care, because if he sits back, Daniel's about to hunt him down, and he's going to have to make some crazy play. So why not send it and give it a shot? And Beast Mode probably wasn't predicting the challenge to come so quickly, and Evo ends up getting the better of them there. Youngins, extend that lead to 2. Now, there's lots of time left, and we know the offensive prowess of this Dan Land squad. We've seen it all event. But right now, Evo and Aqua just not giving them the space. In all reality, they really haven't had much offensive pressure at all. As I say that, Beastmode's going to get a flip reset over 1. Evo will send it into the corner. Daniel puts a soft shot on target. Evo will keep it out once more, but Beastmode is there for the putback. 3:07, and they cut the lead in half.
And that's really big because that's their first goal in about 8 minutes of play. It's been a very long time since this team has been able to get on the board. So just getting there is going to be a huge thing for now, reinstilling confidence in this team in particular. Like we said, you and I both kind of have our bets hinged. If the Youngins win this one, they're going on to take the series. So if Danland wants to close this out, they got to do it here and now. But speaking of close out, close up your defense, lads. What happened?
Evo, just a really, really great play off of the kickoff. He opts to stay close to the play. There are many times where players will, instead they'll extend over for that midfield boost. They want to get those resources in the tank. Evo elected to stay close to the play, and that threat was enough. Gets a nice, soft 50-50, leaves it there for his teammate, and Aqua will put in the freebie. Evo off the post, and Aqua is there once more, gives them a 4th goal. Bass, I'm starting to get concerned. My prediction was Dan and Beast for the whole tournament, and this is making me worried.
I'm almost more worried for the fact that it just doesn't seem representative. This just doesn't feel like what we saw out of Danland at the beginning of the day. I mean, someone in chat is saying, nah, they're just trolling. I would believe that if there weren't $7,000 on the line. It really does feel like this team is just no longer cohesive. Again, we talked about this earlier on. The Youngins going for a lot of team plays, and they weren't really finding success. As soon as Danland started finding success in team plays, they were near unstoppable. Now they're going for every other option under the sun, and it's still not enough. Halfway through this game, the Youngins are going to put in a fit. The floodgates have not just opened, they've broken off the hinges. The door is completely gone, and the Youngins, they're swimming on through.
Goodness gracious. Bass, I don't know what to say right here. This has me floored. We are barely halfway through this game.
Oh my gosh.
And Youngins have put in 5. Now, look, the reality is if they can put in 5, so can Danland, but I just don't think they're going to be able to do that. It's too big of a mountain to climb. Aqua and Evo, we said this a couple games ago. When they strike first, that aggression turns up. That confidence turns up. They stop worrying about everything else, and they start to challenge. You said it yourself, the ego chow. Evo says he don't want to play defense. He's too busy playing offense. And Beastmode looking to make something happen, and Evo will play a little bit of defense here. Leaves it for Aqua. Both players on low boost, but it seems that Danland have backed off. Now Beastmode with an early challenge, and Daniel's going to take over, working down the sideline, looking to make a sharp angle pass across. Evo gets a touch away. Beastmode steals that corner boost, does get bumped away, and now Aqua's going to be able to clear this one. Doesn't have the resources to make anything happen, but Evo will take over, begin moving down the field. This could be dangerous, though. Aqua back by himself, low resources, a shot on target. Aqua doesn't mind. He's in position, knows where he needs to play. Evo, a couple of chain dashes on the wall here. He's going to accelerate himself down the sideline. And with 1:20 on the clock, Bass, I just don't think this is possible here in Game 6.
I'm going to guarantee it. I'm not going to bet anything on it because I do not dare do what the EURC guys did, which is where, 30 seconds left. It's a 4-goal lead. I'm going to bet my mustache on it, and then EJam has to shave it. So, yeah, no, not doing that. I'm not going to guarantee it. But at this point, yeah, Game 7's looking likely. And, wait a minute. Daniel, first mechanical goal we've seen in quite some time. And really the first goal to make me think, yeah, Danland are still in this one.
I like that. A nice air dribble initiated from his own third. He's going to tack a flip reset on the end of it and put one in. Now a minute left on the clock. This is not impossible, but it is unlikely, especially the confidence with which Evo and Aqua have been playing with. Dan does put a shot on target. Evo will keep it away. He's in a tough position here. 0 boost. Wait, now hold on, Bass. Dan is going to put in a third and 50 seconds on the clock. This is well within reach now.
Oh boy, this is the issue. This is also why we mentioned before, the Youngins, they thrive with momentum and fall under the tilt. So, I'm going to be a little bit nervous here. The Youngins were very confident going into the last minute of the game, and now all of a sudden they find themselves with only a 2-goal lead, which was 4 not even a minute ago. So yeah, if they're ever going to tilt out of a series, it's here and now, especially considering that AQUA almost just teed that one up for Daniel beautifully. Had he not had that clean of a catch, that definitely would have been a challenge, but instead Beastmode will try to save his flip, puts it a bit off target. AQUA may have been able to get the save no matter what, but at this point, you can't rely on the saves. The Youngins need to get this out of their half. They've got 30 seconds to survive, and with this much pressure, something, oh no, I was gonna say amazing could happen, but Beastmode just not on the mark, and with 15 seconds to go, now I'm confident enough to say we're heading to game number 7. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, do it, curse me, come on, take us to overtime.
Oh my goodness, as soon as you say that you got the confidence, we're going to game 7. I think Daniel, maybe he's got the stream up. He heard you. He said, Bass, I don't think so. We got a little more left in the tank. 12 seconds left. Let's just hold on and see what happens. A neutral kickoff in the middle. A race from Dan and Evo. Dan has plenty of resources in the tank. They're going to take it to the corner. Beast's going to get that corner boost. AQUA's going to cut it off in midfield. He's going to be able to follow his challenge. Flicks it high. Dan is able to keep it alive. Beast mode pops high as well. I think both players operating on minimal resources. Evo's going to down this, and we are going to game 7.
For this, we said we go to game 7 with 3 in a row for the Youngins. They take game number 7. Now, this is anybody's ball game. With the performance that Danland put at the end of that 6th game, no.
This is what they need. This is what they need. They do so well when they strike first. AQUA and Evo, this is good for the confidence. Now, here's what I'm going to say. If we want to talk about pressure, Daniel and Beast Mode just got out of an event with the most pressure that you can be in competing in Rocket League. So I think if there are any players, and they both excelled in that environment, if there are any players that can respond and turn this thing around, these are the players that I would have faith to do so. But on the flip side of that same coin, Evo and AQUA, they are moving, they are working, and they look incredible right now. Dan and Beast gonna have to turn this thing around quickly.
Well, not a bad idea from Beast Mode there. I think he's just trying to get across court to where Daniel is. But again, like we mentioned before, I still bet on the Youngins to be the speedier team here. So if you're going to put it to some open area, you can almost guarantee someone from the team is going to challenge.
That's it.
Speaking of challenge, what happened here? That one, you definitely could have gotten back to that.
I think that Daniel just waited too long and was going to see if it bounces off the backboard. But it goes bar and in. And now they have a 2-0 deficit to climb out of. The good news is they have plenty of time, but you know that's frustrating. They had a 3-0 lead. They could have ended this so long ago, and now the Youngins are tearing them apart fast. I am very worried right now. My prediction is going down the drain.
But mine is absolutely thriving. Let's go. Come on, Youngins. They're doing great so far. But again, I do want to reiterate, it was a 4-goal lead. Let's make it a 3-goal lead now. That almost disappeared last time. So as much as I want to say, yeah, Youngins on top, they can take this one. With 4 minutes on the clock, I'm not guaranteeing anything.
This is not good. This is not how you want it to start. This is not good. Now, Bass finna make out with all kind of stash cash in the chat here. 17K on the line. Wait a second. Daniel may have an opportunity here. Beast gonna clear the net. Okay, this is fine. We're all right now. We can settle in. They got one in the net. Beast mode with some aggression. And look, I've been calling for it all tournament. I think it is very overpowered in 2v2 environment. You delete one, then you got a 2v1 situation in Beast mode. He wasn't even worried about playing on the ball or waiting for a pass. He just goes for a second demo. Evo gonna take a shot straight on target, and Daniel's gonna easily sweep this away. AQUA will take that corner boost, but Daniel gets a big clear. Evo's gonna catch this. His boost should spawn. It actually doesn't, but Beast mode probably doesn't know that. Goes up for the ceiling challenge, goes back to the ground, and now Daniel's working in the corner. AQUA will take over possession. Beast mode calmly sweeps it to the corner to safety. Daniel with a missed touch on the backboard. AQUA looking for a backflip challenge here. Beast mode does get it down the sideline. Now Daniel almost extended too far forward. Evo with some nice patience. Beast mode, a great defensive stand here. Now he's going to secure that corner boost up into the skies. He's looking at 50-50, this one down and in. Daniel's there for the putback. Bass. We're within one now. Beast Mode making it happen. Daniel making it happen. And this is what I mentioned early on. If we want to talk about players performing under pressure, these two showed their first LAN ever, and they absolutely pop in LA at the Winter Major. So this tournament, of course there's some pressure on, of course they want to win, but I know that they have the ability to show up when the moment gets big, and they're showing us that right here, right now.
They're looking great here. The only issue I have is, they still have been far too volatile for me to guarantee that they'll stay in this game. A save like that will keep them in for now, but like you said, these guys, they definitely know pressure. They have been here before. They've been in greater environments than just this. $7,000 on the line doesn't really matter when you're playing for $300,000 at the LAN. So, yeah, these guys are ready to play. They're ready to go, and they might be ready for what is about to come. AQUA, shot on target. We are officially now halfway through this game. The Youngins have held on to their lead, but can they increase it? Evo tries with a ringer across the net. It's a bit off target. What about the follow-up? He's actually just going to lurk out at midfield. Doesn't want to dive too aggressively. Instead, he'll pop it high where Daniel is lurking. I do feel like, in particular, that's the player I want to see come to life. Beastmode has actually done a really good job at facilitating offense after offense for the DanLan team. I want to see Daniel pop. He's been playing a lot of defense so far this game, so where's that stunt goal that we know he can deliver?
Absolutely. And you feel like it's a matter of time. You mentioned that we hadn't seen him really doing his thing for quite a while, and it's just, again, it's one of those things. For Daniel, it's a win. It's not an if, right? We know that he's got it in his bag. Evo up quickly, looking to make a take another shot on target, but Beast Mode fortunately in position. Now Daniel working along the sideline, does pop it around Evo, but that's going to be all of his resources in the tank. Now AQUA, awkward touch off the ceiling. He's going to pop it around Beast and give it to Daniel. We might have a redirect opportunity. Fake. Evo reads it perfectly. Now they're on the attack. AQUA sends one towards the backboard. Daniel does well to deal with it. Now a pop up high. Beast Mode up quickly. We might have the double touch. Can he read it? Oh my goodness, Bass. He almost read the down bounce. He will confirm that corner boost though. AQUA working on minimal resources. DanLan looking to turn this thing around. We got just inside of 60 seconds. They're going to have to make something happen here soon. Daniel to the backboard. AQUA will be there in time. Gets it clear. Out to Beast Mode. He's going to collect it and send it to the sidewall. Doesn't have much of the resources to work with, and Evo's going to catch this on his goal line. DanLan. The time is ticking away. They got to make it happen here. It's now or never. 30 seconds on the clock. Now this could be dangerous. Evo needs to get back quickly. He does just that. The resources has got to be low for the Youngins. Daniel's got an opportunity here. Cuts it once. Beast Mode with a demo. AQUA with a great challenge. It's going to send it to the other side of the pitch, and that is going to run precious seconds off the clock. Evo with a bouncer shot. Hits the crossbar and stays out of the net. Beast Mode, a big clear. 10 seconds, Bass.
That should have been it. That should have been the game. They should have finished it off instead. We go 10 seconds left on the clock. One last chance, and it will be taken away.
And this right here is the game. They have got to turn this around. If they go down 3-0, Bass, I think I'll go ahead and call it right there. You know, obviously, DanLan's...
Signed, sealed, delivered. AQUA and Evo, reverse sweep. DanLan in a best of 7.
Wow. I am speechless. If you had told me going into this tournament that our 2 seed, AJ and Atomic, wouldn't make it out of round 1, if you had told me that our number 1 seed would be reverse swept in the semifinals, Bess, I'm not even gonna lie, I would have looked at you and laughed in your face.
Look, have fun to both teams, and let's see them hit the pitch. Best of 7 here. Once again, the winner of this one, they've already guaranteed themselves money. $700 per team already guaranteed, but you make it to at least that grand final, you more than double your money. So here we go. It is time to get underway. Let's see what these 2 teams have gotten. Hoodie, your early predictions. You still sticking with your young guns and the randoms that you said would be your sleeper pick?
I think I'm going to. I will say that this one I am less confident, and actually crazy enough, I was more confident in Dan and Beast Mode, which unfortunately didn't go that way, but I'm less confident in this one. I know that Cheese and Zineel are wizards, right? They are incredibly talented, but I do think I'm going to stick with 2-Piece and Chronic. I was very satisfied with their gameplay yesterday. I think it's going to be a little bit of a test here because I do agree with you that Carlos and Friend are going to be a little more organized. than AJ and Atomic. But right out of the gate, Chronic flexing these mechanics up to the ceiling. Excuse me, off the ball he resets, and he's going to put one just out of reach of Zineel, and that's going to give Randoms a 1-0 lead here in game number 1.
And that's also already a really, I would say, good representative of what we're going to see here in this series. Carlos and friends, Zineel and Cheese, just kind of waiting on the line, playing patiently until eventually they have to challenge. It's a bit too late, but that's because the Randoms are a very mechanical team who is going to stun. This is how we're going to see these guys play, and it's pretty much what we saw yesterday. Carlos and friend are going to be cohesive, play patiently, and wait for their opportunities to strike, whereas their opponents are going to be super fast, super mechanical, and in your face. I don't know which one's going to be a better strategy long-term, but we don't need to think about the long-term quite yet. Let's focus on the now. We're only a minute into this game, and although the Randoms have found themselves a lead, and they hold on to it with the pressure now starting to mount against them.
Got a shot there on target from Chronic. It's going to require a save, but Zineel will pop at the safety. 2-piece. Back to his teammate. Chronic's going to put a second one in. We're seeing a little bit more teamwork today, and this is just game 1. We're only a minute and 16 seconds in, but 2-piece and Chronic definitely seemed very solo-oriented yesterday. Today, they're working together, creating those opportunities for each other. Can Zineel and Cheese hold that strong back line like they did yesterday with a unit that's working so well together as we're seeing out of the Randoms right here?
I will say, I think part of what we're seeing also is the fact that yesterday going into this tournament, again, folks, if you're not aware, we have increased our prize pool at this point from the initial one, I think 5-fold. It was 1,500, then 25, then 45, then 55, then 7,000, and now $7,500 on the line. I think yesterday, 2-piece and Chronic were probably looking at this as, you know, a place to represent themselves, show themselves outside of the RLCS competition. Now I'm thinking they might have looked at this one as an opportunity to earn some money, because as one of the only unsigned teams in this entire tournament, they're going to want to try and find themselves some extra cash. So, yeah, this is going to be a big tournament for them. I would not be surprised if last night, as soon as they made it through the first round, they went, all right, so 2s for the rest of the night? Yeah, 2s for the rest of the night, and just grind it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you bring up a good point there, because it is a weird dynamic. Many times when you go into tournaments, you just know what the prize pool is, and you know where if you make it to 3rd, you get this. If you make it to 4th, you get this. 1st and 2nd, get this. And this has been a little bit of a different dynamic where these players, as the tournament unfolds, the pressure increases. And the reason being is because all of you who are so generously donating to the prize pool, which is making things more interesting and more intense for these players. And so I think that is a good point. One thing that I will tack onto that is the 3rd and 4th place teams, which are the 2 losers of today's 2 semifinal matches, are still going to walk away with some cash. But that 1st and 2nd place is quite the increase. And you know that these players want to maximize and get as much as they can out of this event. I agree with you. They want to show off. They want to show their stuff and prove who they are, but they also want to get a little bit of cash in the wallet. Zineel's going to take a shot. It's going to be deflected by 2-piece just at the nick of time, and now Chronic's going to control this. Just under 2 minutes on the clock. We really haven't seen too much from Carlos and friend on the offensive end.
Yeah, we haven't seen, I would say, I don't think we've seen the most out of Carlos and friends so far. It just kind of feels like they're still developing themselves. I'm not sure what the right word is, but it feels like this is definitely not representative of what their overall gameplay is going to be. I think part of that is that it is game number 1, and considering they are a patient team, they're not going to overexert themselves here. They've got a long series ahead of them, and they know that. Any team that I think is going to keep a head on their shoulders, it's the team that took down one of the best teams in this entire event yesterday. That being said, they might keep their head on their shoulders, but do they have tennis shoes on their feet? They got to run a little bit quicker, because this one caught them by surprise.
Wow, what a transition. 1 touch to a teammate, and 2-piece snipes it. That is quick and effective. You love to see that stuff. I am a little concerned, but like you said, it's game 1. I am sure that Cheese and Zineel will settle into this series. As one of the great things about Best of 7, and the thing that I was most excited about, is it allows for some storylines to unfold because there's a few more games. When you get a Best of 3, sometimes one game slips away from you and you're like, oh gosh, okay, now I'm facing elimination. Best of 5, a little bit better, but it's still a little bit touchy at times. So Best of 7, hey, we just saw it in the previous series. You can lose 3 straight and turn this thing around. And so Cheese and Zineel, Bass, you know them a little bit better than I do, but we know that they've got a good mentality. We know that they're good buddies, and I highly doubt we're going to see some tilt from these players. So if there are some issues that they're facing, I expect to see some adjustments. And here's one right here. A play from Zineel as a lead blocker ends up getting this reset, opts to fake it and move forward and just demo 2-piece and leave that ball bouncing for Cheese, who strikes it well. 38 seconds on the clock. Do they have time to bring 2 more back to this game?
Oh, with a fake kickoff, they just might. That's not a demo. I thought that Cheese got it. He missed it barely, and Chronic will get the clear. They have the offensive pressures. Zineel puts this one center, not quite able to get the touch. But I do like this. I do like that we're seeing a little bit of aggression out of this team to end this game. May not be able to turn this one around entirely, but at least instill some extra confidence in the team. Okay, that's off target. I was going to say it could dissipate had that one gone in. But yeah, to sort of hint at what you were talking about before, yeah, I do know both of these guys. I'm actually pretty good friends with both of these dudes. Cheese was one of the first teams that I was able to actually help get to RLCS in terms of like casting. They were Integrity.
I think very similar to the AQUA EVOH situation when Two-Piece, and we actually saw it yesterday when they played CRL champs, when Two-Piece and Chronic strike first, they just play so much more freely, they play more aggressively, and we're seeing it here. Two-Piece, a flip reset is going to require a save. The save is not good enough, and Chronic's there for the putback. They take another early lead here in game 2.
This is getting a little bit nerve-wracking for me right now, and for one reason and one reason particularly. You mentioned when the randoms have momentum in their favor, and when they get that first goal, they feel the most confident. They also started their day yesterday with the first game, and I think that's a big thing. Getting that sort of setting the tone mentality and really getting your feet underneath you is a big thing. It's also what Carlos and Friend did yesterday. They took game number 1 off of AJ and Atomic, and although they dropped 2 straight after that, the fact that they were able to get that initial game probably gave them a decent amount of confidence, and really, I would say a lot less nerves than before. It does feel like some of that shakiness is what has separated teams here. So I gotta hope that Carlos and Friend, despite finding themselves in a deficit already and losing the first game, oh my word, are gonna find a response. Zineel, that is beyond clever. That is cheeky, my friend.
Jeez, the infield pass and Zineel. Oh my goodness, Chronic is pre-jumping because he knows if Zineel strikes that well, like he knows that Zineel can, he's got to be in the air. He's got to be diving before the shot happens because he's not going to make it. Zineel recognizes, slow plays it, as cool as you like. My man Zineel showing that he got the ice. He's calm and collected, and that's going to equalize here in game 2. Now, it's early. We got a long game here, and I expect to see a little bit more back and forth. That first game, we see Two-Piece and Chronic come out hot. Now we're seeing a little bit different look from Carlos and Friends. Zineel is going to misread that. It's going to provide an opportunity for Two-Piece in the corner. I thought he would steal that corner boost, but Zineel makes a great recovery and gets back in time to get that. Cheese going to get the corner boost here. And Bass, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. The Dragon decal that Cheese is rocking is my favorite decal in the entire game. It's absolutely gorgeous, almost as gorgeous as this play.
Brilliant play. I will agree with you on that. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't really disagree with you. I'm trying to remember what the name of that Dragon decal is. It is it's classic too, is the other nice thing about it. It is one of those decals that's been around for a long time. It's not very expensive. It's not exclusive like the Slurpee decal, which apparently is more hard to find than a dinosaur fossil. So yeah, it's a bit surprising to see that. But we'll agree with you. Jeez, just feeling clean, looking clean, and doing it nice so far here. The unfortunate issue for them, though, is again, they find themselves in a deficit going into possibly the back half of this game, and could have increased right there. Chronic maybe a bit too speedy for his own liking, but you like this. It's looking good. It's looking a lot more back and forth, and you know what? Maybe that's why. Maybe it's because they're looking good and they're feeling good. Yeah. That's the big thing. You know, skins equals wins. That's
right. I love that. Skins equals wins. Hey, this is something that any sports team that I was a part of, we always said this. You look good, you feel good, you play good. And everybody wants to call it placebo, but I would argue, you know, when you're feeling swaggy, right, that confidence is going to be through the roof. And so that's why we see these players mix up these cars. And even when they don't, like they go from Octane to Octane, but it's a different skin, you know, sometimes they feel like it can make them play better. I know that some players feel faster or slower with certain setups. So it's always interesting to see what they come out in. But with that being said, Carlos and Friend having to lock down the backside here, playing a little bit of defense. Two-Piece and Chronic struggling to get through that back line. We've got a little bit of a stalemate here, and Carlos and Friend finally break out. Cheese looking for a reset on the back of an air dribble. Chronic will send it to the corner. Zineel, a great challenge in midfield. This is pass 1. Zineel pops it across. Cheese not in position, but he will get this corner boost. Pops it around Chronic. 50s with Two-Piece. Does have to peel away from this, but I don't think the randoms have any resources to work with. Zineel will confirm his corner boost as well. Chronic gets the midfield, and now we're resetting here. Zineel, the reset attempt, blocked away by Chronic. Cheese in the corner, 50-50 with Chronic. This is going to bounce dangerously in front of the net, but Zineel deals with it well. They are down 1. We got plenty of time on the clock, but we're going to need to see some sustained offense.
I do feel like right now we're starting to get to that point, though, where the effective aggression, yep, there it is. Perfect timed example. Perfect example. Random's aggression before, catching Carlos and Friend by surprise.
Yep.
Now that they have figured out how to meet it, all they're doing is, well, starving themselves of resources. 2-2 here from what is an expected goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so frustrating, too, when you give away one of those. It's just a power shot. You know, that's nothing special. Zineel's on the wall, and he just booms it into an open net. When you're this level, you really don't want to give away goals like that. You want to make sure that if your opponents are scoring, they have earned it. You've got to make them feel the pressure, because when you get those free goals like that, it's just a momentum changer, right? Where Zineel and Cheese feel like, hey, we just kind of stole one from them, and the other guys, they're feeling a little bit frustrated because they feel like they gave one away. So there's a little bit of a mental dynamic attached to forfeiting those types of goals. We talked about it earlier, where when your opponent outplays you, they get a nice demo, they get a nice flip reset, a solo play or something like that, they put in a rebound, hey, tip your cap, you move forward to the next one. But when you do something like that, like a double commit, or you just miss position and walk too far forwards and they put a clear in your net, it is so frustrating. And now we're level 2-2. I'm curious how Two Piece and Chronic are going to respond here inside of 60 seconds.
I think that they can. I know that they have the ability, but I do want to also bring up, we talked about mental fortitude earlier in the day when it came to Evo and Aqua being able to turn themselves around. I think that's going to be a struggle for Two Piece and Chronic. Again, this is another lobby where the average age can't even drive a car.
Oh.
So yeah, this is gonna, oh my word! What? Forget my previous point. It doesn't matter. You can throw it out the window, just like this shot, which was at Mach 7 speed. What?
Okay, Cheese got the put in there. He gets the credit, but Zineel doing some serious work, lands the reset, fakes it, comes to the ground and goes underneath one challenge, and then he walks into a kind of a hybrid breezy flick where he gets a little bit of scoop, and that scoop makes the defender awkward. That touch was not good enough. Cheese is there for the putback, and that's going to give them a lead here. 10 seconds on the clock. I don't know if Randoms are going to be able to mount this comeback here with such little time.
Oh, come on, please score now. Do it. Let's get another curse. No, I wanted to see it in an overtime. But honestly, I think that Carlos and Friend want to see this one out. They want to get a game on the board, and they will indeed even out the series at 1 apiece. And like we said, I think that was important. They needed to try and get themselves just a little bit of extra confidence in themselves, considering that game number 1, I'm not going to say it was out of hand, but it definitely was a game that didn't feel like Carlos and Friend were ever in favor. This game, it did go back and forth a couple of times, but I'd say the majority of this game, Carlos and Friend looked like the favorites.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to ask something here of chat, because we got some folks in here pointing it out. I want to see if we can get 200 people chatting at one time. So right now, if you're in the chat and you're enjoying the environment, you're enjoying the tournament, drop your favorite emote, rep your favorite streamer, show some support. Let's get as many folks chatting as possible. We're going to see if we can break 200 as we break into this third game of the series. We are tied 1-1. Chronic, Two Piece, Cheese, Zineel, everybody looking good right now. Who is going to take the lead in the series, Bass?
All right, listen, you know who my bet is on, but unfortunately, bets don't really matter at this point here. It's about how the teams are going to perform. And I do like this, though, Hoodie. I think we have gotten to that level we were expecting. Where I always said that Carlos and Friend need a little bit of time to warm up. Randoms might have come out the gates firing, but they needed to find some consistency. I think both teams are starting to find that. We're going to see a lot more of an even game from here on out. But that being said, I don't really know what's going on here. A lot of tripping each other up. Chaos and Calamity has apparently taken over the pitch, and Two Piece doesn't want to take advantage of that. I thought he'd go for the challenge afterwards, but no one's going to challenge out of midfield. Chronic gets a freebie, and oh boy, we have devolved into chaos. Here has a mishap to the backline. Hootie, can you understand what's going on? Because I sure can't.
Oh no, a shot off the cross, off the post. Two Piece going to have to avoid a demo. Cheese might redirect this. Fortunately, stuffed away by the Randoms defense. Zineel in a tough spot. I don't think he has the resources. Chronic's going to pop around. Cheese there for the challenge. Zineel still on 12, struggling to find anything to work with. He's going to keep it safely in the corner for now and get a clear over Chronic's head. This will buy a little bit of time and space. Don't think he's going to get any resources just yet. Maybe the corner just spawned. Two Piece up high over one. Zineel, now he does have a full tank. Going to keep possession, keep the ball close. and hopefully work it out. And this is what you keep alluding to, this teamwork, right? It doesn't have to be flash and flare. It doesn't always have to be pace. These guys work together, and they do such a good job holding on the defensive side, working through the tough situations where they have no boost to defend. Cheese, selfless, gets that reset early, pops it off the backboard. Zineel for the putback. 1-0, Carlos and Friend.
I gotta say, again, that's one of those plays where anybody else goes up for a flip reset like that in front of a goal, you're gonna call it flashy. That was so clean and standard that just looked like another day at the office for Cheese there. That's incredible. And speaking of another day at the office, apparently Zineel, he hasn't been at the office. He's been at the gym. My man's is bigger than anybody on the pitch as he bodies the defense.
Beautiful stuff here. Again, full team effort. These guys, this is what we keep praising them for. They are not relying too much on one player. They're making use of everyone, every tool that they have, every resource that they have. They're using one another to perfection. And this is what you love to see in a 2v2 environment. So Zineel, Cheese, looking great. They've got a handle on this game number 3 right here, but there is 3 minutes left on the clock. Now, before I hand this back to you, Baz, I do want to go ahead and shout out to everyone in the stream. I love the emote spam. I love everybody helping us out. I appreciate you all being here, and I hope that you are enjoying this event. I know I certainly am, and I hope the players are too. This has been a wonderful event for me. I'm enjoying this casting. I'm enjoying the gameplay. Baz, it's been an all-around big dub for Hoodyhooo.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Guys, if you're not already following Hoodie as well, please give him a follow real quick. And if you got Amazon Prime, did you guys know that you can actually also sub to Hoodyhooo as well? Yeah, I'm going to show you for the rest of this day, my guy. I'm going to make sure that we're supporting our boy because Hoodie is the best man on the planet, the nicest guy, and deserves everything that's coming here today. And, well, speaking of deserves everything that's coming, right now, Cheese and Zineel, yeah, they deserve the win at this point. They are playing out of their skulls. And, oh, Cheese, he's just going to prove that here, huh? Ooh, tries to go for the double touch, denied by 2-piece, but he still keep with the offense here. Zineel tries to take out the defense. He actually gets them a bite. 1v1, Chronic can't get the touch. Where is Cheese? But it is not on the mark. A little bit off, but oh boy, Carlos and friends are starting to make the random sweats.
Yeah, incredible defense there to hold that one away. Carlos and Friend looking really clean. We criticized them a little bit in game 1 because they weren't putting any pressure on, and they have turned that thing around. In fact, I can't remember the last time they had to sit on defense. Maybe in the first 30, 60 seconds of the game. I can't remember if it may have even been last game, but they are looking clean. They are working efficiently, working together, using one another. Just very selfless gameplay. They look good, and right now, I think they are the favorite to take this series.
I would 100% agree with you. The consistency that they are showing. I mean, to sort of further drive home that point about, oh yeah, they haven't played defense, folks, let's give you some stats for the game so far. Mind you, we have 2 minutes left. We're only barely past halftime here. Carlos and Friend have 4 goals on 10 shots with 0 saves. The randoms have literally only been able to shoot twice this game.
I can't believe this. What a turnaround. Game 1. The randoms can't come out swinging. They look good. They're so aggressive. And right now, they are just stuck on the back foot. They can't get anything going except, well, we'll take a kickoff pinch goal. This doesn't happen very often. It may have just been an awkward approach from Cheese. But hey, they'll take it any way they can get it.
Yeah. I mean, goal's a goal, a win's a win, and getting yourselves a goal at this point is really going to break the momentum that I think was starting to slip away from them. Yeah. Uh-oh, but if Zineel just gets this right back, I don't think it's going to matter. Oh, no! Oh, Cheese breaking some axles. That could have been disastrous. Imagine getting your first goal back, and you're like, okay, now we're confident, but then it dissipates. Never mind. They will build on top. Chronic giving his team a little bit of life with 1:20 to play.
The air dribble bump. Bass, you requested it earlier, and now here it is. Now, they're going to decrease that lead to 2. They've given themselves plenty of time here, 1:20 on the clock, and we know players with the prowess offensively of 2-piece and Chronic, they can make it happen in lightning fashion. Cheese and Zineel, again, coordinated, organized, disciplined players. It's a battle of styles. Who will execute their style better? 1 minute left on the clock. A big pinch from Chronic. 2-piece up the field. Looking to make something crazy happen out of the corner. Chronic, tons of space here. You know he's up into the sky. Looking for the reset. Opts to go for the aerial 50-50. A side flip from two-piece. It's going to cause a problem. Chronic will get a nice demo. It's going to destroy any press that Carlos and Friend could put on. Chronic in the corner looking for a double touch. Gets it down in front of the net, but Zineel properly positioned to keep that away. Now two-piece. Got to make something happen quickly.
Oh.
Great touch from Zineel to keep that away. A nice bump from Cheese is going to extend this a little bit further. 20 seconds on the clock here. Zineel, an early rush challenge. Now Chronic in a great position. Cheese does well with low boost to make the stand. 4-2 scoreline. Bass, I think it's out of reach. Less than 10 on the clock. Cheese with that clear is probably going to lock things up here for game 3. Carlos and Friend looking incredible.
They look like they have found that confidence we were talking about again. This is a team, they are, in my opinion, the least flashy team in this one, but they by far represent the fundamentals of Rocket League to a T. I'm just impressed. There's not really much else to say right now, especially considering that game number 1, you and I were pretty nervous that maybe the randoms were just going to kind of stomp their opponents here. Then all of a sudden, game 2, a little bit closer. Carlos and Friend starting to look good. In game 3, they look near unstoppable aside from a couple of random goals from the randoms. Again, you look at it, it's a solo play and then a pinch off of kickoff. That's not consistent enough for me to say that the randoms are back into this game yet. And I gotta hope that changes, because if we see Carlos and Friend win this one, they're on series point. And although last time a team got a series point, it was unfortunately a death sentence, I don't think it's going to be the same result here in this second series.
Yeah, absolutely not. These guys, they got it under control. They are calm and collected. We've said it many times. Bass, we're going to have to come up with another word to tack on the end of that, right? Because these guys, calm, cool, collected, it just doesn't properly describe how incredible they are. They are just cool as a cucumber. I don't know. Somebody drop us some phrases in the chat. Y'all help us out. We got to get some creativity going. But Zineel with some creativity himself off the sidewall. Cheese with a follow-up shot. Zineel maybe with a backflip flick, and Cheese is actually going to send it away himself, opting to hopefully keep possession. He does secure that midfield boost, but Chronic with a great challenge. He's going to buy himself a little bit of time here. Wave dash looking to get one around Zineel. Gets a bump that may buy enough space for two-piece to pick this up. Can't get it on top of his car, so he's just going to send it around Cheese, and now two-piece with a pinch. This is going to be awkward for Cheese. No threat, though. Chronic opts to wait and see what touch Cheese can make. The dodge from the sidewall. Zineel's going to send a pot shot on target. Two-piece deflects into the corner.
Ooh, it's not a bad fake out, though. That's actually going to make everybody jump here. All of a sudden, out of midfield, we got a little bit of Calamity coming up, and it's a bit surprising. Carlos and Friend usually so overwhelmingly in possession, but here, having to dive at the ball kind of on repeat. Cheese will make the save, and uh-oh, that's open. If they can get a shot on, this should be in, and barely able to get back his two-piece, but Zineel there for the follow-up, and Chronic will save it. The pressure is still on, though. They're not quite safe yet, and Zineel, he's still, I thought had a flip in the tank. I think he did as well, but realized he was a bit too late, so he had to get that flip reset. So does his Cheese! Locks into a musty midway through his aerial, but it will not be enough, and this is something we actually have been missing from the randoms. To see them playing some solid defense, I'm thinking they've finally turned up the heat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. They have the threat. They have the danger offense. We want to see them be a little bit more coordinated and collected on defense as a unit, and they're showing that right now. Two-piece up, looking for the redirect. I don't think he's going to be able to get this on target, but Cheese will collect it in the corner. Chronic turns to a shadow defense position. Cheese muscling through the bumps, continuing to play. Two-piece with a miss off the backboard is going to provide Zineel with a freebie. Zineel pops it to the net, and it does pull a double commit. Now Cheese looking to get one on target. Neither touch ideal, and a pop away from Chronic is going to give Zineel a free ball over to Cheese. Cheese back to Zineel, and every player looking a little bit urgent right now. I don't want to call it panic, but they're making touches a little bit sooner than they really need to. The play is not very urgent. Many times they're rushing their play when there's no challenge anywhere in sight here, and it's resulting in a little bit of sloppy play from both sides. Chronic looking for a shot. Cheese in position with a backflip miss. Zineel luckily in position to sweep it to the corner, but he does get demoed for his trouble. Cheese has to make a touch here. He does just that. Chronic going to extend this play. Pops into the corner. Zineel will keep it to safety. Chronic does collect that boost. That may cause some problems if randoms extend this stay on offense. Cheese with a nice block. Zineel, I think, is low. That corner does spawn. Zineel has to send it away. He goes back for that corner boost. He's desperately low. Two-piece looking for the reset. Maybe he's just going to go for a block. Zineel will send it into the corner, and Bass, we're seeing that wonderful coordinated defense from the Carlos and friend.
They look good. They just look very, I think coordinated is probably the best word. They just look like they understand how to operate around each other. Again, this is a team that we did find out yesterday. We always had some questions about who's in comms and who's just kind of, you know, running this one solo. This is a team that has been confirmed. They were in comms. They probably are in comms right now. And so they really are working around each other perfectly. But I do think the words you were starting to look for before is impatience. That's what we're starting to see. The two teams just kind of diving. And I think part of it is this is the longest we've gone without a goal. The first 3 games we have 4 goals in game number 1 total, 5 goals in game number 2, and then all of a sudden 6 in game number 3. So to all of a sudden have 0 on the board as we go into our last minute of play, it's got to be a little bit disorienting for both teams, and that probably should have been disorienting as well. But Zineel somehow able to get back to that ball. 40 seconds to go. Who is going to be the hero? We usually say hero mentality is going to be a deficient thing. Not here. Hero mentality kind of needs to be what you play with at this point because it's now or never. 30 seconds to go. We are basically in golden goal scenario.
Yes, we are, and we're seeing some boom ball here. We can't, neither team, no player can afford to make a mistake. Zineel's going to keep this here. He's going to follow it for the 50-50. Chronic will pop it around him. Zineel with no boost. He's got to play this cleanly. Keeps it in the corner. Does a good job so far. Just inside of 10 seconds. Zineel still low resources. Chronic with a pop to the backboard. Cheese in position. He makes the catch. He's just going to down this if he can, and we're headed to overtime.
Clever. Honestly, I think that's the right play for Cheese. Low boost resources, low resources for Zineel as well. They want to just try and give themselves a better chance. Chronic's up for this one, but Zineel reads the touch. He puts it center. Cheese is there, but 2-piece will read that with a block. And I don't know what's more impressive, the fact that Zineel gets back to that one or the fact that they are able to stop it. Uh-oh, can they stop this, though? Chronic a light touch. Where's going to be the follow-up? 2-piece wanted it, but instead, Zineel out at midfield. He's got boost and time, puts it high. Will not go for the follow-up. Instead, he lets 2-piece boom it out to the corner. And I think, again, this is where we're starting to see that little bit of difference between the two sides. Randoms, they probably would have dove for that and played that risky play, but instead, Carlos and Friend, they know that's too precarious for them to go for.
Absolutely. And you see this style a lot in 1v1 where players will pop it high and require resources. Let me get back to that. Chronic, a huge clear up the field, 2-piece with a beautiful slight redirect. Oh my goodness, look at the strike, look at the power fast. That is beautiful.
I wanna. Hey, chat, do you guys want it as well? Let me see some OT spam if you guys are actually getting a bit hyped for this one here. The spam has seemingly died down, but I want to see it once again. OT in chat, because at this point, we got to get there. We got to get a game number 7. We got to get more OTs. We got to see the insanity that is about to incur. What just happened in front of the net? Thought that was going to be a goal for the Carlos and Friend, and then as soon as there was a double commit, I thought surely it'd be a counterattack, but maybe it is still going to be a goal for them. Off the ceiling, 2-piece barely able to get there, but oh boy, calamity to start off game number 5.
We have seen this a couple times now where these games just start really sloppy. And I don't know if it's, you know, both of them coming out with a ton of aggression. And that's what we're seeing right here. 2-piece with a dribble gets it around 1 off of the catch. And then Zineel just too slow to recover. Cheese being chased by Chronic up the field with a lead block. And that's going to give Randoms an early lead here in game 5.
I do think that we're starting to see maybe, you know, we're talking about adaptations. What are the adaptations for both sides? I think Randoms, their adaptation is start getting physical. The issue is that when you do have a team that's so reliant on both of their players playing to a T, what happens if one of the 2 players isn't allowed to play? What if they're being chased the entire time? What if they're demoed and sent to the Shadow Realm? At that point, you're going to have to make some adjustments. So I think right now, it is adjustment time for the side of Carlos and Friend here. The Randoms are finding their aggression, working out in these small little pockets. Can you close them out? I'd like to hope so, because considering it's only been a minute of gameplay, but it's been all offense for the Randoms, it seems like the tides have truly turned.
And one thing we want to mention here, too, about this Random squad is they are a team that, it reminds me of EVO AQUA, where when you let them take an inch, or excuse me, you give them an inch and they're going to take a mile, right? When you let them warm up, when you let them build that confidence, the mechs will be on display, and we're seeing it here. They are an aggressive unit, and I am really enjoying watching them play. But I know that Carlos and Friend, they have the discipline, they have the strategy, and here it is, a little slow play from Cheese. He's going to flick it into the top left corner. Perfectly executed, snags the corner boost, the midfield boost, just enough power to get it past the last defender. Beautiful execution from Cheese.
You say beautiful, I say filthy. I've been waiting for this all day. Nasty, disgusting, absolutely gross out of Cheese there. And, well, let's see if they can keep this up. I do like that they're starting to find some confidence in these solo plays, something we really haven't seen a lot of out of Carlos and Friend. And it's something we should probably expect a little bit more. As much as these guys are not ones players like Chronic or 2Piece are, they're still pretty proficient in their individual prowess. So let's see, can they keep that up? Can they find themselves a little bit more momentum here and maybe even a second goal before we get to halftime? Zineel put it center, Cheese is there, but he puts the shot off target. Chronic might have been able to get to the save anyways, but you at least need to threaten the defense.
Yeah. Oh, and a strike. I can't even get my point out. 2Piece. Keeping it simple. Taking us back to 2016. A nice power shot from the side is all you need. Just out of reach of Cheese. 2:43 left, and Randoms reclaim the lead.
This is about to go back and forth, huh? We're about to see this one just go one to the other. Pendulum swinging back and forth, back and forth. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to shy away from it, even if it is a little bit of a, let's call it volatile back and forth. I am all for it. Halfway through this game, the fourth goal will slot into the top left.
Zineel, a great touch out of the corner. Again, we see that selfless play. They are doing such a good job of using one another and putting the opponents in awkward spots through that team play. I love watching Carlos and Friend play. It's something that, you know, when we watch this gameplay, and I know that the mechanical ability of all these players is out of reach for us, but when we see the solo plays, it's not something that we can replicate. This Carlos and Friend style is something that you could take into your ranked lobbies. And with that being said, Chronic a little bit too much flair. 2Piece can't get to the challenge in time, and Zineel with the dunk is going to give them back the lead. 2:24 just underneath halftime. Randoms going to have to make a comeback now.
I do feel like we're starting to see, though, this is an issue we've seen from Randoms before. They get confident, they start to feel like they got the momentum back in their favor, and then they get aggressive. And a team like Carlos and Friend are going to punish you if you overexert. So they do need to be careful. I think there's a middle ground here. Not too aggressive, not too passive. And if they can ride that silver line finely enough, they can take this game. But Randoms do need to be careful. Winner of this one moves on to series point. And as much as I do believe we can go to a game 7, it's going to be a little bit difficult if your confidence is not necessarily there and your mental is in the dump, which can definitely happen when you have such a close game like this. When it's back and forth, it can be exhausting just to try and stay in a series like this mentally. So Randoms, they've got to be careful here. This is definitely a very volatile and very influential game that the rest of the series might just entirely hinge on. With only 100 seconds left, it's now or never. You got to at least take us to an overtime.
Yeah, plenty of time here. Zineel respecting Chronic and understanding that he is a dangerous threat in the air, goes early. Cheese, the full fake, looking to go underneath. Nice recovery there. Gonna keep the ball out of the Randoms net. Zineel does have his dodge here. Opts to play it slow, and the bouncer goes off the crossbar, but Cheese, little too deep on the field to be there for the follow-up. Chronic looking for the air dribble, and we're seeing this time and time again. Carlos and Friend going up to the ceiling and challenging challenging immediately because they do not want to allow this Randoms roster any space in the air. Jeez! A nice musty flick, but it sent too high off the crossbar. Just inside of a minute here, 45 seconds on the clock. Randoms upping the pace, upping the pressure. Carlos and Friend, they got to hold tight, and they've done so thus far. Can they continue to do that inside the final 30 seconds? Wait a moment. 2Piece pass 2. Chronic is there for the shot. A weak shot, and it's off target. Zineel's going to fling it away for the clear, and he's going to follow it up. Can he get another touch in the corner? He will. 2Piece is the first to it. Cheese is probably going to keep this close. He's on 0 boost. What a spawn. He gets 100. Perfectly timed. Whoa! Chronic looking for the pinch inside the net, but Cheese positioned perfectly. 10 seconds left, Bass. 2Piece flings up to Chronic. Chronic looking to go underneath. He should catch this. Cheese does well to get underneath it once again. 2Piece up to the ceiling. Once this touches the ground, Carlos and Friend will be on match point and series point. Carlos and Friend looking good. Yeah, absolutely. And you said it right there in the difference in styles. That pop-off potential is something you just can't ever count out because 2Piece and Chronic can make it happen in a flash. Now, we'll see if they can bring it to light. I think you are exactly right. Who is going to execute their game plan better? We got a clash of styles, both effective, very different, but who can execute better? Chronic working through the corner. Gets past 2 challenges. Now 2Piece is going to actually take this back to his own corner. Definitely a patient start here, and I like to see that from randoms. This has not been their go-to strategy. Chronic over 1, looking to bring this back underneath the crossbar. A double commit from Carlos and friend. Zineel operating on no boost. 2Piece is probably going to snag that corner, and Zineel will clear it away.
Finally, just a little bit of reprieve for the side of the Carlos and friend here. It doesn't feel like this is really going to turn into an attack, and oh boy, it's actually going to turn into something almost worse, a counterattack going in favor back of the randoms here. But I think that this is where the pressure is really going to be on Carlos and friend. They've had a patient gameplay the entire time, but what happens if randoms just kind of go full guns a-blazing and say, you know, completely disregard all of these risky plays that they had before? Is it going to work out? Is it going to be a bit too much? At this point, I think this is going to be probably the fastest paced game to see all day. It's not just going to be the randoms who are going to have to keep up with that, though. It's going to be Carlos and friend who have to find ways to try and slow them down. Either there's 2 ways to play. Either you match their aggression, you match their pace, or you start dictating the pace of play and breaking it down when the randoms expect it. I would think it's going to be the latter of those 2 options, because considering the mind games that we've seen Carlos and friend throughout this entire series, I'd be surprised if they just kind of, you know, throw caution to the wind and just start driving and diving at every single ball.
I totally agree with you. I think that will definitely be the strategy of choice, and Zineel is going to put in a open net here on the back of a 50-50. Cheese actually with 2 50-50s back-to-back. He doesn't even go for the second one. I thought he was there for the challenge, but he allows the randoms defender to challenge with no response, and it ends up popping straight into Zineel's lap, who takes a free shot, and that's going to give Carlos and friend the first goal here in Game 6. One thing I wanted to tack on the end of this, though, Bass, we talk about how, wait a second, Chronic up, 2Piece is going to equalize. Now, Carlos and friend, we know that they can stay organized against this high-intensity, high-pressure gameplay. You mentioned that we could see Chronic and 2Piece really just blow the cap off and just go wild with it, right? But Carlos and friend have dealt with it once. They beat AJ and Atomic. And so if there's any team that is well equipped to do that, it's these guys right here. And you mentioned it, they're coordinated, the chemistry is there, the team play is there. But 2Piece and Chronic, as I said at the beginning of this match, you cannot count them out. That pop-up potential is so scary at all times. Chronic diving in for 1, and Cheese with the soft touch is actually just gonna clear this straight into the net.
This is the second time they've now done this in a single game. And again, this is where we say, if you're going to play full aggression, you've got to be careful against a team that is this defensively oriented. They're going to wait for their opportunities. And again, it kind of goes to show that they really are going to wait for their opportunities. They're 2 for 2 right now. A single shot from Zineel hits the back of the net. A single shot from Cheese hits the back of the net. So the team is playing patiently. They are waiting for this over-aggression out of the randoms to come back to bite them. The issue is that it's now done it multiple times. So I think the randoms, as good of a strategy as this is in this game, it's far too volatile for my liking. They need to find something, again, a little bit more consistent. I think that's a big separating factor between the 2 teams, and as they approach another offense here, they've got to try and find a way to at least get past midfield. Carlos and friend are going to dispossess them for now, and geez, he actually might have something special here. Up Zineel. Where's the follow-up touch going to go? Out to the corner. Reset's going to at least keep it in his possession, but as 2Piece heads to the sky, it's going to be another problem here for Carlos and friend as they try and stop the counterattack. 2 minutes to go, though, and the lead still in favor of the team in blue. At this point, although it is only a 1 goal in favor of Carlos and friend, they don't technically need any more. They just have to survive, but oh my word, Chronic, he'd like to do the same. Saves on the line and keeps his team in this one for now.
2Piece gonna pick this up on the sidewall. He does confirm the boost, but Zineel will get the possession there. Cheese gonna walk in and pick this up. Looking for an early flick, pops it high. 2Piece in a great position. He's gonna get that follow-up too. Actually, Zineel is up early as well. He will secure that corner of his own. Now Chronic's gonna steal the other one, and Cheese will flick it over. 2Piece quickly steps in, and Zineel will make an awkward touch, and 2Piece is gonna capitalize. Zineel thought he had a little bit more time, or maybe wanted a more controlled touch, but he drops it just in front of the net, and 2Piece pops it over him. 1:19 on the clock fast, and we're level 2-2.
That's the big issue here, is that this has been a game that has been punishing little mistakes here. The randoms have been caught off guard twice by it from Carlos and friend, and now all of a sudden, oh boy, Carlos and friend, they get caught a little bit off guard by the aggression out of randoms. Might be able to counterattack here, though, because 2Piece and Chronic are both pushed out to midfield. They should at least be able to take a shot the other way. 2Piece will turn it off, though, and so will Chronic as now got a dribble play. Plenty of boost in the tank. Puts it a bit high. Where's 2Piece? He's out at midfield with only 4 boosts, so it does feel like he might have missed a big pad out at mid and has kind of thrown them a little bit off here. Under a minute to play, and like we said, randoms need to win this one just to keep the series alive. It is 3-2 in favor of Carlos and Frendon. Could it be 3-2 in favor of the randoms? They'd like to think so, going for the goal, but oh, wait a minute, that's an awkward touch. She's in a bad place. Zineel having to play this one backwards. 30 seconds to go, and Chronic, he's going to try and put in the dagger that sends us to game 7. Instead, he will 2Piece fake out, and all of a sudden, 2Piece drills the bar to take the lead.
What an incredible play. Very selfless from Chronic. You see him point his nose away from the ball. Lets his teammate know, hey, I'm getting out of here. This is all yours, homie. And he strikes it bar down, top left corner. That is a beautiful shot from 2Piece to keep Random's hope for a championship series run alive. We got 24 seconds on the clock. Cheese and Zineel pressing up the field. Zineel's trying to keep this alive. Chronic is going to get the win here. He's out of boost, though, and he's going to be flailing to the ground. 2Piece needs to play safe, needs to play smart. Chronic will send this to the corner. Chronic's still on low boost, now getting bumped away. 2Piece needs to make a touch here. He does just that. 5 seconds pass. 3, 2, Chronic fakes, actually. I'm not sure if that's a fake, but that's what it ended up being. And randoms are going to take us to game 7.
This is folks, by the way, if you're not aware of the prize pool, this is a $7,000 tournament at this point here. The difference right now is between $750 for 3rd and 4th place, so just getting here, and $1,800 for 2nd. And Chronic, apparently, he wants a piece of the pie. $1,000 extra sounds good to this lad, and apparently 2Piece wants to help him get there too.
Baz, something we've seen from this randoms roster the entire tournament, the entire event, flicks. They have been so dangerous. We've seen 45-degree flicks. We've seen front flip. We've seen side flip. They've got every tool in their arsenal, and 2Piece is going to put in a second one. 16 seconds into game 7, and randoms take a 2-0 lead.
And this is by far when they are the most dangerous. We said this before. When the confidence is flowing, everything else does the same. Carlos and Frenda got to be careful here. Only 16 seconds in, and they have already found themselves down by 2. I know they can turn this around. I think both of us are confident in that. The issue is how far can they turn it around, though? Because if they let this get too far away from them, at that point, they're just going to be battling against the comeback here. And sometimes that can be the difference maker, even if the two teams are playing evenly. Even if actually Carlos and Fred play better from here on out, they may still be at the mercy of the fact that they've given up 2 goals in such quick succession. So, minute into this one, not even. Randoms trying to continue with their stunt show here. 2Piece wants to set up Chronic from the corner, and, well, Chronic, now he wants to set up 2Piece. Or actually tries to set him up himself. Interesting play as the randoms, they're all out aggression, and it's working out.
This is what I was afraid of, and we talked about it early in the series. When these teams, when this team, these players score first, the confidence is through the roof. They put 2 in early, and that gives them a little bit of leeway. They can play a little more aggressive than they normally would. They can throw more aggression at it. Cheese with a wonderful save, landing on the backboard. A fantastic recovery to keep a 3rd goal out, but Chronic is looking to extend this. Zineel does make a save, but I'm worried about this Carlos and Friends squad. Randoms turning up the pressure. They are feeling themselves right now, and the mechanics are on display. As I say that, Chronic up to the ceiling looking for a block, but Zineel will get the block around. Pop it to the side. 2Piece and Cheese both miss. 2Piece sends a shot wide. Zineel looking to take control. A 50-50 with Chronic is going to give it to 2Piece. 2Piece looking to flick over Cheese. Goes into the Carlos and Friend corner. Zineel is there for the block. 2Piece and Cheese. It's a race to the challenge. 2Piece gets beat to it. Zineel can't get around it in time. He cannot squeeze it inside the post. 2Piece will now get back in time. Zineel, the infield look, drops it to Cheese, and we extend the offensive stay. Chronic on low boost. Zineel is there for the putback. Cheese does well to work it around the corner, and we see it one more time from Carlos and Friend, using one another, passing, selfless play. They've cut the lead in half. 3 minutes on the clock, or almost 3 minutes on the clock. Lots of time left.
And if you haven't seen the rest of the series, folks, this is the best representation possible. All-out aggression from Chronic and 2Piece. 5 shots already within the first half of this game versus Carlos and Friend. Efficiency to a T. They were going to go 2 for 2 if it's not for Chronic. He gets back to that save, and he might just set up 2Piece on the other end. My, oh my, okay, apparently Randoms, they do know how to play defense. We were wondering if they were just an offensive team before, but they're showing. They've got some prowess on either end, and 2Piece, he wants to show on the offensive end yet again. He's on the ceiling, has his flip, but what's he going to do with it? Actually, nothing. He's got 0 boost in the tank, so I'm hoping that they retreat here. But otherwise, they're just going to overextend their stay. And this has been the issue so far. If the Randoms are going to fall in any sort of fashion here in this game, it's from overextending themselves into offense and allowing Carlos and Friend to have counterattacks that are nearly uncontested.
Absolutely. This is incredible, Bass. I couldn't have asked for a better showing from both of these teams. We have not seen anyone fold. We have seen everyone bring good stuff today. And right now, 1:47 on the clock. Carlos and Friend can definitely mount this comeback. They have had some good quality opportunities, and they have plenty of time to create some more chances, but they cannot allow the Randoms to extend this lead any further with this little time left on the clock. We're approaching dangerous territory.
They can escape, though. These shark-infested waters, you can swim on through them if you just have your floaties on you, and they will indeed! Speaking of float, this is beautiful! Float like a butterfly, sting like the bee. My, oh my, Zineel the butterfly and Cheese the bee. 2-2 we go.
Absolutely incredible. We've seen this a couple times throughout the tournament where the opposition is expecting the person on the ball to play it quickly through the corner, and they opt to play slow. They get that pre-jump, and once the player jumps off the wall, their options have been eliminated. Wait a second, Zineel tries to fire one from midfield, but that great slow play through the corner, Zineel creating an opportunity and Cheese there to put it in. Chronic challenging here at midfield, and Randoms, you have to wonder, are they starting to get flustered or frustrated because they haven't scored since the first 16 seconds, 20 seconds of the game where they put in 2 back-to-back?
Feels like they're starting to get read a little bit more. These aggression that's coming out of the team, while it caught all of Carlos and Friend off guard initially, now they're using it to their advantage. They're waiting for that inevitable challenge to come out of the Randoms, and as soon as the Randoms can't really control the speed that they're playing at, they all of a sudden let themselves fall apart. This is an issue we see at pretty much every level, whether it's RLCS or Bronze. Teams who play too fast for their own good, all it does is throw them off tilt and not allow them to have as much control as if they just took maybe a half a second less, or more, excuse me, to try and make their decision. So I worry for the Randoms right now. They are very volatile. They are diving at every one of these balls and just hoping that something sticks. But considering we're going to overtime and every little risk here is going to punish you even more, they've got to be careful. Although being careful, speaking of which, Chronic, I was going to say, if he had a bad 50-50 there, that stays alive, but instead, couldn't end in the other way. Hoody, we've got overtime. Game number 7. Winner moves to the grand finals.
You know, when I pitched the script, I was worried that the players wouldn't follow it, but they've done such a good job. Game 7. Ladies and gentlemen, what more could you ask for? We got to pass across. Chronic looking for the flick. Cheese will send it into the corner. 2-piece, a backflip that may have actually been intentional. I'm not sure. Chronic's going to move in and take control. He does have his reset. Over 1. Zineel gets the bump, and that was critical. Cheese needs to recover quickly. 2-piece has his reset. Knocks it down. Chronic is up. Cheese will send it away. Now Zineel looking for the shot on target. 2-piece, barely enough boost to make the touch. Fast as it's dangerous. Cheese pops high. Chronic handles it well, sends it into the corner. Now Chronic has a full tank of boost to work with. He has to do well, and he does just that. Keeps it in the corner safely, gets a nice 50-50, and 2-piece will give the Randoms a big clear and some space that they desperately needed. 2-piece misses the corner, though. Now he's way down the field out of position with no resources. Chronic has to back off. Zineel gets his reset. The slow play underneath. The 50 around 1. Cheese is there for the finish. Carlos and Friend move forward to the championship.
And they do so in style. Zineel fakes out one, bumps the other, clears the lane, and Cheese, he will gladly take the slot. 3-2, Carlos and Friend finish it in 7 in almost a minute of overtime.